Greetings, Minecrafters! Nonsanity here, and welcome to another episode of All the Mods 9 to the Skies. Alright. I had a bit of an accident. I had left the Sky Steel contraption that I showed you last time running over here after the episode. I didn't turn it off, so I ran all night, and I've got... Sky Steel... I got 1.1 million Sky Steel. I will never need that much Sky Steel. And that used up a good bit of my iron, too, which I was trying to build up. So it was a bit of a pain. So I tore it down. Unfortunately, I ultramined the AE cable. Now, I had already disconnected it by breaking one block of the AE cable. But ultramine goes diagonally, and it jumped. And, sort of erased a lot of my AE down here. In fact, it erased almost all of it. There was just a little bit up here. My consoles were still up there, and this stretch of dense cable was still there, but everything else was gone. But that was fine. I had already thought up a new way to arrange all my AE, and so I just did that. So I had a little bit of a sidetrack as I rearranged all that. And as you can see, it's a lot neater here. Oh, and I upgraded this thing to the Aldemodium because I got plenty of Aldemodium. And I don't know how I missed it, but this opens up the controls. I thought I clicked it and nothing happened. But yeah, you can set it to input output on the bottom. You can set it to auto output, and then it's just like all the other machines, and you can slap this thing with its power card directly onto it. And yeah, it's running. And so I swapped this, which was providing power, to just an export. I set it up for Aldemodium, but also I dragged over some vibranium because we're going to be doing that next. Oh, and you saw the contraption to make the Sky Steel, but there was another drop-in fluid item that we needed. Let's see, I think it was part of the Mega. No, it was part of Applied Flux. Yeah, all the flux storage cells require these components. They go up to 256, and I'm using those. I made a couple extras. But it needs these redstone crystals. To make the lowest level here, you need the redstone crystals. And to make the processors, you need the charged redstone. And the charged redstone is exactly what the same as the charged Certus. You do it either in the Applied Energistics charger or in the power orb. And I made enough of those to get me the components I needed. But to make the redstone crystals, which you need a lot more of, because there are 4 of them at the low level here, you have to put a block of redstone, fluix dust, and sky stone in water. So it's a lot like the sky stone mixture or the fluix mixture. I only had to do the fluix a few times because then I could make the seed. The sky stone, I made way too much. For this, I was going to make enough because I didn't need a huge amount. But this is a great way to do it. Just a regular chest, put in all the ingredients, turn off my magnet, and then break the chest. Oh, that gave me one somehow. Let's toss that in. And they all convert. It's a great way to do a batch. It's easier to load a chest than to drop all of these bit by bit. Don't use the sophisticated storage so you can drop more because it won't let you break the chest. I tested it. And you might be able to get a little bit more than a regular chest, but not too much. So regular chest, fill it up, break it, drops in the water, you're done. So, vibranium. We have to use the summoning altar to do that. And it's not that hard. We have most of what we need. Vibranium. There we go. It's all Ars Nouveau essences. We got those all set up down there. They're not automated. I might go back and automate them, but I made a bunch, several stacks of each. So enough for this. Insanium we got. All the modding we got. We just need a bucket of life from blood magic. They call it blood magic, and then they call it life, not blood. And that we're just going to put down a blood altar, easy to make. Make a sacrificial knife, stand next to it, and I can just sort of whack, and at this pace, it stays healing me. So just got to watch the level of the life essence. That looks full. Yep, it's full. Right, put a bucket on it. Oh, that's more than we need, but the thing with blood magic is if you don't have enough blood, it doesn't just pause. You lose ground with whatever process it's doing. All right, so now we just get the other elements. We did that. Well, let's see, we want 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. Oops. 1, 2, 3. Not you. 1, 2, 3. That's all of them. And then all the modium. 1, 2, 3. And the insanium. 1, 2, 3. And the modium is last. So pop, pop, pop. Oh, nope, it's putting the whole stacks. Hold on. Give me those back. Let's do it like this so I can do it one at a time. Pop, 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 pop. And wasn't that it? Oh, it needs 3 of the insanium. All right, see if it'll let me put, yeah, okay. Now, the modium. There it goes. And the bucket, it eats the bucket. All right, good to know. 2 more buckets, please. Can only put 1 of them on there at a time. And you can see on the meter there in the info, it didn't use maybe an 1/8. So, filling that completely up is more than enough. All right, let's do another batch. And the last one. There we go. Actually, I'll just keep my magnet on. And now we can turn this into a block of vibranium. Let's go install it. So pop that in there. And since I don't really want all the other ores, I'm going to keep these in there. But we should be getting a little bit of the vibranium every now and then. Yep, there I saw some. And as I get enough of it, I will replace all of these with vibranium. Imaginary cut, imaginary cut. So I've got 475,000. I did this yesterday. I always test. Testing works. And I'm going to take all this out and replace it. And now it's just making the vibranium. Actually, which one do I have the most of? Because I think... Actually, okay, I'm gonna run with all the modium because I only have 288 of that. Let's see, all the modium. Yeah, I had it running for a little bit longer with the vibranium. So let's go back to all the modium. There we go. But we've got vibranium now in large quantities. We can put that away. Oh, and I guess I should show you the rest of the AE, because you're wondering, all right, we saw, you don't click it, you stand on it. So there's not much down here now. Where is it all? All right, I've made another hyperbox over here. This is my new layout. I think it'll be nice and easy to expand. So I've got extra ME controllers. And each hyperbox or location that I want to extend AE to will get its own quantum ring. I think I mentioned that the quantum ring under where I stand is no longer the one for my wireless remote. That's this one here on the colorless fluorescence cable. The one out in underneath the floor up there is this one on the white. So this one is powering all the machines and consoles and so forth there at my standing spot. And this one is, it'll never have any channels active. It's just powering my remote. And then this is the latex room. I might tear that down. It doesn't really need to be there. This is the Ars Nouveau, and this one is getting ready. It's got 0 on it right now, but this will be for the Botania room. Power's coming in here. All the digitized power stuff is exactly where it was. I didn't move that. And we've got all the pattern providers and molecular assemblers up here. The full complement of acceleration cards. So, and since it doesn't really matter how many are around it, it only uses one, this should be fine. I did forget to do coprocessors. Was it? Crafting coprocessor. It's got a hyphen. So let's make. Oh, ran out of fluix. Don't make one when you can make several stacks for the same price. So I'm just going to put those down there. That'll help it out a little bit. And I can extend them out a little bit. Yeah, there's enough room to make them a little bit bigger. I can rearrange them. And I can spread them around the walls and if I needed more, but 4 is enough for the moment. So yeah, this is the AE2 room. Now I did chunk load this one. Normally I wouldn't chunk load a hyperbox because they're loaded if they're in a loaded chunk. But of course it's raining. But I wanted the green side to be up because that's where I put that glass catwalk. And so I broke this right after building it, and that crashed things. It wasn't a bad crash. I could just restart everything back up again. It was trying to use components of the AE system, and they weren't available anymore because it unloads it immediately when you break it, it seems. I thought it might have a little bit of a delay before it garbage collects and gets rid of it, but nope. I haven't tried breaking it since I chunk loaded it. And I'm not going to do it now, but it should be okay. Okay. I think that's it for up here. Should we do Botania or should we fight the Ender Dragon? I got all my equipment for here. I did go ahead and make the Supremium armor from Mystical Agriculture. And I haven't put any augments in it because I haven't set up... Oh, excuse you. I did not mean to kill him. I didn't have my weapon out. I just punched him and he died. I have no idea what he was selling. Oh, well. I did finally... One of them did give me the... no, what's the name of it? It's in here somewhere, but it has a funky name, so I don't know where it is. But I finally did get the pickaxe that gives you the whole lot of fortune and so forth at a time when I long ago don't need it anymore. I really wanted that at the beginning of the game. But yeah, I have my sword here and all my stuff. I'm going to try and capture a dragon in a containment jar using a ritual. I don't have the tablet to do that, so I'm not ready. So that answers that question. We're going to do Botania. All right. I have had some fun automating things that really don't need to be automated in this pack. But I wanted to try some new things. And yeah, I want to show you what I got here. So we're going to start with this one. The first thing we're going to do is the Petal Apothecary, aka the birdbath. And I'm going to put a click machine right there facing upwards. And I'm going to set it to 1 second. That should be good. And I've always been carrying one of these Emperor's Chalices from Reliquary. A diamond gold bucket and a void tier, and that is made with a nebulous heart, which comes from Enderman, gas tier, slime pearl, and lapis. I have all that from the mob farm, so it's easy to make. And this is an infinite water bucket. You can even drain water with it. I used it to fill up my fishing pond. Right now, we're going to toss it in here, place the Petal Apothecary on top, and it will always be filled. Just that easy. Love that. I've had much more complicated setups to keep that thing filled with water because you can't pump into it. All right, but now we want to go ahead and automate actually crafting things with this. So let's bring up a little shower head here. So it's not just a bird bath, but it's a bird shower. There's the shower head. And was it up or down? I think it was at this level. So what do we got here? This is integrated dynamics. This is a item exporter and an item importer. So this is going to drop items into the world. And it's not going to do anything as is. It needs to have a card. And I've gone over this mod in other packs in the past where I've used it far more heavily to do actual like programming, more complicated setups. We're just going to graze the surface in this pack, at least so far. I haven't found a reason to get into it. I mean, it can read NBT, the flags inside the objects that give you all sorts of information. So it could be very precise in how it sorts items, like the exact damage of something or the contents of a shulker chest, perhaps, I think it could look at. But we're just going to use unprogrammed variables or just slightly programmed variables. These are empty. These are just, I made some variable cards using the mineral crystals around paper. You get a whole bunch of them. They're just true or false. Basically, they're just true. And so they only go in the ones that accept a Boolean. So this one says Boolean. Place all item entities. This just says drop whatever you can into the world. This one will take an integer. This says drop whatever you can, but only this number into the world. Of course, it'll do it over and over again. This one takes a card that's been set to be a specific item, so it'll only drop that item. If there's a bunch of different types of items, you can create a list of items, and then it'll drop only the items on the list. And then you get into more complicated things. It can even take things out of like player inventories and put them into the player inventories, which is sort of neat. I might do that to like change my armor to a hazmat suit or doing some radioactive work. That might be fun. But for now, I'm just going to place one of these in the place all items. It's going to drop whatever it can. But we're going to make some adjustments to those items. So we're going to click this button. Actually, let's go back. When I hover over it, you can see these are all the various things you can adjust. Channel, round robin, dispense, offset of X, Y, and Z, lifespan, and pickup delay. These are the two really useful ones. Channel we're going to leave on 0. Round robin, we're not going to turn that on. We don't need it. Dispense, we're not going to simulate a dispenser where if you are dropping a bucket, instead of dropping a water bucket, it would actually place the water from the bucket. We don't want to do that. We're just dropping things. The X, Y, and Z offsets are just where it's going to place it. 0.5 would be in the middle of, if there was a block in the space between here. It's right in the middle of that block space. Half a block in. So we can leave that. That's fine. And it'll drop down into the birdbath. Lifespan. This is sort of neat because you can choose how long an item will exist in the world before it despawns. So by increasing this to a really big number, an item won't despawn, which is very handy for a lot of uses. We will be using that. We don't need it for this one. I think as soon as it drops the item, it's going to get sucked up into the birdbath. So we're good there. Pickup delay, though. That one we're going to use. We're going to set it to, let's see, 10 seconds is 200 ticks. That's enough. Velocity, we're not going to mess with it. Yaw, you can throw it at an angle. The pitch is the same. Well, different axes, but also at an angle. Item transfer rate, it's fine. And that's it. Okay, go back. So all we had to change was the pickup delay. That means you can't pick up the item that it drops for 10 seconds. I could stand right here, and whatever it drops, I would not be able to pick it up. But more importantly, this thing, which is going to be sucking up the output from the birdbath, we don't want it picking up what falls down. Normally you would do that with like filters, but I don't have to filter every ingredient or every output. I just don't want it to pick up whatever this drops. Once it falls into the birdbath holds it, and when it birdbath spits out the final rune, this will then pick that up because it won't have this extra pickup delay on it. You can in this thing, and we're just going to drop this into it because it's going to pick up all item entities. You can tell it to ignore the pickup delay, but I'm going to turn that off. So it will honor the pickup delay. If you set it to ignore, it can pick up anything, whether it has a delay on it or not. Item transfer rate normal. So those two changes, one in each, is what we want here. And one other thing we have to do is prevent it from, let's just place a block here for a moment. We don't want items to go flying everywhere because this item picker-upper here can only pick up right in front of it. And we want to be able to see inside, so we'll hit them with this clear glass. There we go. A nice box to hold it all in. And I didn't have anything else. But let's give it a little bit more decoration. Let's, facade. There are these facade blocks from Integrated Dynamics. And I'm going to get some green, dark green concrete. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. So once you've crafted any block basically with the facade, it becomes this specialty. You can't place it down. I can't place it down anymore, but it looks like regular concrete. But if you place it on one of the cables, it hides the cable. All right, there we've got the upstairs portion. Down here I've got its quantum link chamber, and it's on the lime. It had a lime connection to it, so I'm using that as the lime in here too. All right, so we're going to bring this down. And I want to have it have one item at a time. So I'm going to place this Ars Nouveau platform, the same ones we were using before. It's nice because it's going to hold one item, not one stack, just one item. And it needs to have this thing aimed at it. This is like a connection to an inventory. It doesn't do anything, but if the orange sucker upstairs is trying to drop things, if I now place something into this platform, it's going to get it's going to be seen by the network because this thing lets it see inventories. So it'll see the inventory of this platform, and the dropper will say, hey, there's something I can drop. So let's try it. There it went. Okay. I heard it go splash. And there it is. It's in the bird bath. I can get it out. Okay. So that's working. But now we need to get the recipes in there. So we're going to place right there, pattern provider. And we're going to put in one pattern. I made an endoflame pattern. Now we should take a look at that. Put the seed last in the recipe. So if we actually just do the recipe, there we go. If we load it up like this from JEI, it's putting the water in here. We don't need to put the water because that's taken care of. And the seed we need to move to the end because it needs to be last. So that's why it looked the way it did. Write that to the pattern, put it in the pattern provider. Oh, and now we need to be able to, yeah, there's one other thing we need to change. Let's break the, nice thing about these cables, or, yeah, it's a nice thing. It can be a pain. When you break something, you only break that one piece. Like I just brought the cable. It didn't break everything. With AE2, you break any piece in a block space, and they all break, unless you use the wrench. Here it's the other way around. Well, I don't think you can break them all, but the wrench does make it faster. Anyway, get in here and do one more thing. It lost its card. Channel 1. And ignore pickup delay is still turned off. Okay, good. We want it to be on channel 1. This thing was on channel 0. And if we go down below, this is also on channel 0. Because we want it to take what's on this platform and drop it. When it sucks up the result, we don't want to put it back on the platform. We want it to go into the pattern provider, which has a return inventory here. And that would then be on channel 1. Hit the save. If you don't hit the save on those, then it won't save it. So if I don't hit save now and exit, it didn't keep it. So that should now be a complete. Really have to be right in the center of those. That should be a complete setup for that. Oh, one more thing. Because I tend to have my magnet on, we don't want magnets picking things up. So I'm going to place down a demagnetizer, reduce its X and Z, so it's just a single column, and make that as tall as possible. So let's see it from above. Oh, I put it in the wrong spot. It's got to be under the click machine right there. So X and there, and then make that big. And if we visualize it, there we go. So it won't let my magnet grab anything that's in there. If I'm standing right up next to it, I might grab the things that fall out. So don't stand next to it when it's running. But I can be in the room with my magnet on, and it should be fine. So let's give it a try. Endo flame. Oh, one more thing. On this guy, we want to do lock crafting until primary crafting result is returned. We don't want it to start another drop until it gets the result from the first one. Blocking mode doesn't matter because that thing can only take one item at a time. All right, now it should all be ready. Let's do 10 ender flames. Start. It's working. And we should get a notice when it's done. All right. Let's do the next thing. Probably the first thing you'd want to do is make not an endoflame, but a pure daisy. I won't make a recipe for that one. No, because I already have them made. And I only need 2. But it's another pure daisy. It's 4 white petals and seeds. So it would be a very simple craft. Uh-oh. Why did it not? Okay. I think I do need to move that down one. See, the birdbath, it looks like it's up here in this space, but it's actually down in the lower space because the birdbath, like you step in a cauldron, you drop down. It's actually a little lower than it should be. If I toss it in, yeah, it's lost the craft. So let's go ahead and cancel it. And we'll make that adjustment. So we'll put it down here. Make sure it has all the same changes. Ignore pickup. And cover it back up again. All right. Middle click. I have it set to 10 more. Go. Don't know why there's a delay at first. Oh, this is more than just at first. Something's wrong. Oh, crafting. Yeah, because of this, it never got the endoflame back. Let's manually stick it in here. That should unlock it. Or not. Probably because... Oh, no, there. It was just starting the next one. All right. That's all it needed. Because with that crafting lock, if you cancel the job, it might not unlock, and you'll have to come in. Oh, see, now it landed on the edge. I guess I need to put one on both levels. All right, let me do that. I didn't have this problem before. Integrated dynamics, world item importer. To make these logic directors, which you need for some of the more advanced things, you need crystallized chorus chunks, which you just put popped chorus fruit in the mechanical squeezer, in the same way we're putting the logs, the mineral logs, and it gives you the purple crystals and the purple liquid, which can then be solidified into blocks. So that isn't too bad. There we go. And I'm going to need another card. And I probably have to take this off. So place it in the pick up all entries, channel 1, ignore pickup delay. All right, so now I can pick up from either of the spaces. And since I picked up the endoflame, I'm going to toss it back in down here. It should resume. And now it should work completely. Yeah, that delay, I don't know why there's some delays. Probably just due to everything having like a minimum time, like once a second or something. And if 2 of them are slightly out of sync, then there might be longer or shorter pauses between them. All right, we will continue with using these pure daisies. So the way they work is you place them down and you place at the same level as the flower and in the spaces directly around it, like this. Stone, and you get living stone, or logs, and you get living wood. Excuse me, living rock? I always thought it should be living stone, I presume. But it's living rock, I think. And this time we're going to use some AE for automation, because that's fun. I'm going to place around. For the Botania room, I'm using lime. And looks like it's done. I got the notification that it's finished. Yay! All right, we're going to put the formation planes here. Now, these are the active formation planes from extended AE. They take a regular one and then an export bus, another processor, and they have an interface where you can set and speed, they're a little bit better than the regular ones. Oop. And I'm going to grab my wrench so I can break just the one piece. There we go. And place these all around. So these will place the wood and the stone, respectively. There we go. Now, there's 8 of them, which means that this smart cable has 8 things attached, and that's all the channels it can hold, which means we can't hook it to anything else, like an inventory. So we are going to need to use an ME controller. And I'm going to put it here. Yeah, that's a good spot for it. And then up the middle, I need the dense cable. I've only got the green. I want the lime. Well, I guess let's do this in slightly different colors. It's actually, is this room green or lime? That's lime. Maybe I should change these to a different color. Well, I've already placed them. Let's leave them like that and get something else for this other section of network. We'll use blue. All right, so blue is going to come up. No, lime is what I need here. I need lime dense cable. We'll use blue for the top. So there, this has got 32 channels on it, 8 and 8. So that's half of its channels right there. And I'm going to run a piece out here. And then, so I might as well just get all of these parts. I'll need them all eventually. I want a import bus. No, storage bus. No, I don't want this here. I'm going to put it up above. That's right. And a storage bus underneath it. Can I get that? No, I put it on the back. How to do that? Here, let's just go down below. There we go. Storage bus there, and this, I think, is the right drawer. I made a nice mossy one and locked it with the wood and the stone. So this will make this available to this lime green network. And it's its own network, so it's got its own controller, though it's not powered at the moment, so it won't do anything. But when it does do something, we want this side. I could probably use a tool to copy and paste these, but I'm just going to do it once here manually. Not sure if you can copy and paste the filters, but I think so. All right, there we go. And I'm just going to toss that back in the system. And then this side does the same thing, but with wood. So that's telling that each of these, that one side is going to place wood, one side is going to place the logs. Actually, I can probably put that back in, yeah, because it's not hooked up to anything. All right, that is done. You know, I'm going to move this, and I'm going to put it there. Yes. All right, now we need to get the, well, let's see them work first real quick here. We can test that by just giving it a little bit of power. That's all it needs. A little bit patchy, but there we go. So they placed, and they're going to start converting. Now I can just go ahead and place the annihilation planes. These do not have filters on them. There isn't an advanced version. But that's okay, because we're going to use just AE setup to do the filtering for us. And we'll put them on the blue cables so they don't touch the lime. I can hear a little bit of fireworks outside. It is the 4th of July as I record. Again, these cables and these cables both have 8 on them, so they are full. So we're going to need to combine them into a dense cable. And I'm going to do that. Actually, I'm not even going to use a dense cable right there. I'm just going to use the ME controller, but I don't want it to connect to the green. That will break it. So I've got some cable anchors here. Though actually, instead of cable anchors, I'm going to use quartz fiber. That way, if one of the two systems is powered, it'll share the power with the other, but they won't share data. All right, that's good. Now, I have another drawer here. I'm going to place it down. This one is currently locked but empty. We're going to take one of each of these, put the wood on the top, and oops, living rock on the bottom. These are the frame drawers, which is why I got the moss and the white concrete to make them look nice. All right, and it's not placing new ones because it, again, doesn't have any power. But if we power this one, it should flow through and power the lower one and place, yep, place new blocks down. Okay, this is looking good. Next, to get the living rock and living wood into this chest, we just need a bit more pipe. Here we will need anchors, because even though this is going to be a blue cable, we don't want it to touch those. See, now it won't touch because of these anchors. And it can come down here and have another storage bus. So that should, once this is powered, suck up all of the living rock and living wood and put them in the drawer. There it is, 8 and 8. And it just placed new ones. All right. So now we've got it working. As long as we've got wood and stone in here, they will be placed, and then the upper one will pick up the result and put it in this drawer in the back. But I want to be able to turn this thing off. I could just break the cable that's going to be powering it. But do I just want to do that? Maybe I'll just do that. I don't know. Yeah, I'll just do that. That's easy. We can decorate a little bit using the facades that are in AE2. And I was thinking I made some moss facades. Thought they might look good here. And I need one moss block. And we'll put that there. Maybe also on this side. Why not? On the top too. I'll leave the back open. And heck, I'll even put them in here. There we go. While it's running, you'll never see inside. I could put them on top of the destructor and constructor plates, but I think this is This is good enough. So now we just need to give it some power. I can place a power adapter there, but eventually this will run out. And we want to get the output into our system anyway, so let's get some more lime here. I don't want it to connect to that network, so we're going to need an anchor. And we'll do an import. So place an import bus there, give it some upgrade cards. Don't have to filter it because it's just going to bring in the final results. When I place this cable, it's going to connect there. We don't want it to touch that, so we'll take it off. And we'll just bring it down and connect it to our quantum ring. You notice that with this new setup of having the quantum rings all in one spot and then just having one of these wherever we want to have AE access, we don't need P2P tunnels. They're bigger and more expensive than a P2P tunnel, but I have got plenty of them made. I created a whole bunch of the singularity pairs. So yeah, this works pretty well. Oh, yeah, I shouldn't have used cable anchor. What I should have used was a quartz fiber, because then that will power the whole system. So I'll break that. It's now in error mode. There. Power. So if I want to turn it off, I can put a toggle bus right here. Let's place it there. And a switch. I can just place it on there. Now I can do that, and it should. It's draining. It's losing power. And it stopped. That's off. It says online. Ah, did it just change? Yeah, offline. Okay. There's just a bit of a delay as it runs out of power, I guess. And I can click that and turn it all back on again. And if we want to just see it going a little bit faster, we can use I like it. I'm trying to make Botania look very industrial. I should have gone with the green concrete instead of the moss, just to make it even more industrial looking. Trying to like fight against the flower magic in the look of everything. But we'll see. All right. And that is that project chest down. I've got a bunch of extra pieces, but that's fine. I made some changes to the design on the fly. Oh, that's because this is going to run out. We don't want it to run out. What I can do, since that's the drawer right there, I could put an export bus and connect it to this, making sure not to let it touch the controller, put some anchors there, and export wood and let's just do it that way. Export. Let's get the lime, get some anchors. The other option is because they both have EMC, I could use some energy condensers. Just two of them feeding into this. I could, but I think this will just be a little bit faster at the moment. And then I just need to stone. Oop. Stone and oak. I got millions of them, and this isn't that fast, so I don't think I need to go the extra steps to have it generate the material locally. I've already made my 5x oak logs, 20 of them. So I don't need any more of that millions of oak, so I can just go to this. And I'm making it faster than, or I could make it faster than this thing could eat it anyway. So those are now going to be filling back up. I should add some upgrades there so it runs a little faster. Yep, now it's full. All right. And I think we're going to interrupt this right here because the episode got really, really long. So much in Botania I wanted to automate. So, until next time, this is Nonsanity signing out. Take care, be good, and see you next time.